Hey, how you guys doing? Michael X. So this is the King Dragon Type 59. I'm going to go ahead and say I really like the red. I don't know if this is the first tank to have this bright of a red or to have this much red on it. I haven't seen any that are like this, but I really like the red. Red and black is, my favorite colors. Like if I was going to do a kitchen or paint a car, this would be the color. I don't know about the yellow, but I'm going to go ahead and say that I really do like the way that this tank looks. And I'm going to go ahead and say that I kind of wish the yellow was a gold color, like gold chrome. Anyway, so let's go ahead and compare these. This has no matchmaking preferential. It has a better gun than the Type 59, better aim time, better firing on the move, and it also has a 30% XP boost compared to a 15%. Those are the things that are better about the vehicle in my opinion. But I'm going to go ahead and say that the Type 59 standard also has its attributes as well. But I'm going to go ahead and say that if you guys take a look, here's a huge thing. Now, if you buy the Type 59, you also have to buy the camouflage. I mean, if you want to have the extra 3 concealment. Now, the crew I have in this is actually for a heavy tank, so don't mind that. But normally I'd have camouflage and some other perks to conceal me. But this has 50, and then you can add 3 for the camouflage that I paid for. Now, buying the King Dragon, it comes with 57. So that's a lot more than 50. So you're going to get more spotting target damage. And because of its superior gun handling and aim time, you're going to basically be able to use coated optics on this vehicle. Now I'm going to go ahead and say that you could rotate back and forth between that, but I'm going to go ahead and say that in my experience, I took off coated optics and went with vertical stabilizer in a couple of games to see if it really made a difference, and it really didn't. I preferred having the coated optics because I was able to spot targets. I have some gameplay footage, which I'm going to go ahead and show you guys here in a sec. So what are we talking about with this tank's armament? Now, I already wrote down the Type 59's stuff. So the Type 59 has a 2.9 aim time. This has a 2.3. 3.9 on the accuracy. This one, and of course, all the stats are better on this vehicle when it comes to the gun and gun handling. The ammunition, in comparison with the Type 59, I'm going to go ahead and say that the alpha of the Type 59 is 250. The alpha on this is 250, but you get 181 penetration with the Type 59, and with the King, you get 190, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's the difference between pinning an angled plate and not, or making long-range penetrations. It really is. The APCR on the Type 59 does 241, and the King does 247. Now the HE is 50. It's the exact same as the other one, but I mean, I only really use those on hull down vehicles. You guys can see that the ammo rack is placed in the same exact locations that it would be on this tank. So I'm gonna go ahead and just tell you guys, if you're expecting to jump into this and just own everybody in a tier 10 game, that's not how premium tanks work, and that's not how this vehicle's gonna work. But I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some secrets to playing the Type 59 that I like to implement. And if I actually had this vehicle, which I might get it, I'm going to go ahead and just tell you guys the ammo rack is on this side of the vehicle, as we've seen. It's right there, which means if you always give people the left side of your tank, that means if they're always looking at this side, it's very hard to actually hit that ammo rack. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say that there's something else too, and that is the fuel tank is actually right in front of it, which gives your ammo rack a little bit of protection. So while angling it like this, it's very hard to hit that ammo rack with that fuel tank there. Best way to see it is like that. It's got to go through the driver. It's got to go through that fuel tank to get the ammo rack. So this is your safe side, having the left side of the tank. So this side over here, the safest part of this vehicle. So I don't have a lot of time to do this. But I did want to go ahead and point out the differences between this. If you guys were to ask me which one do I think's better, of course I'm going to say the King Dragon's better. But I'm going to go ahead and say that there are days where I'm going to say that the regular Type 59, I do like preferential matchmaking. So here's some other stuff that I didn't actually point out before. This has 15% silver bonus, or sorry, XP bonus. This one has 30% XP bonus. So it's an amazing crew trainer, good gun handling, which makes it an amazing vehicle for me. Now I'm going to go ahead and say to increase your chances of, or to decrease your chances of getting ammo rack, I would recommend getting a couple perks, probably on your 5th perk. But I usually throw out my crew and use my already existing crews to do this. But I wanted to go ahead and just show you guys, if you guys can, try to throw on safe stowage. And if you need to, you could throw on wet ammo rack onto this vehicle. But I'm going to go ahead and say that the best thing to do is to just not give the right side of your vehicle. Just going to point that out right now. It's the best way to do it. Basically, you do not want to give that helmet area. If you guys take a look, you see the Chinese helmet. Do not give that area. Always give this side of your tank and always angle it. And that should help you out a lot, especially in the King Dragon, because it's going to be playing tier 10 games. Now, I don't know if the ammo rack has higher durability. I mean, to play tier 10, it has to have higher durability. But from what I can tell, there really isn't any difference between this tank's turret and the Type 59's turret. Seriously, there's no difference in the armor. Alright, so let's go ahead and check out some of this gameplay really quick. Here we are in Kamaran. Now I'm going to go ahead and just tell you guys, I can't exactly just go and play this vehicle in a 15v15. But I was able to play this again, at least against itself, and kind of get a feel for it. I did want to go ahead and say that this is kind of like the Type 59 that I wish we already had. And that is how this actually plays. You guys can see my food loadout. You guys can see my APCRs, which I don't know if I mentioned it, but the standard Type 59, it has 40 shells. This one has 50, so you get 10 more shells, which does make a huge difference in the amount of damage you can make. You don't have to worry about being so accurate. And of course, having the superior aim time makes a huge difference. Seriously, makes a huge difference. So we're going to go ahead and try and stay in this game mode. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys that I'm actually using standard shells in the beginning of this game just to see how well they work. You guys can see I fired a standard shell and was able to easily pin the 90mm side of this vehicle. And I'm going to see that AP is notorious for doing what we just seen. You guys can see that I'm going to sneak in a shot. Now, if this was the Type 59, if I didn't have, you know, if I didn't have the vertical stabilizer, there's no way I could fire on the move like that. And I'm able to do it with this. So that's a pretty decent. It's not like the, you know, it's not going to, like I said, you're not going to be, you know, taking out tier 10 single-handedly in this vehicle. You do have to play it smart. You know, like I said, if you watch me, I never give that ammo rack. I only give like my front plate a little bit, and you guys can see that I quickly am backing up and baiting them. And you can see as soon as I get a chance, I am not going to give my right side of this vehicle. It's definitely a great way to play the Type 59. I have a lot of games in them. I mean, I'm not like crazy, and I don't have like 3 marks in it. But I definitely have enough experience in the T59, Type 59, and the Russian vehicles to go ahead and use this tank very effectively. Now, I want you guys to note that the teamwork here is playing a huge role in this. Seriously, teamwork, you know, in the gameplay itself is playing a huge role. Alright, so as you guys can see, 1800 damage, 10 penetrations. You're not going to see any silver in this because we're in a team training, so you don't actually make silver, you lose it. Go ahead and wrap up about this tank. Is this tank, you know, going to make you millions of silver in one game? No. Is this tank the best tank I've ever played? No. I'm not trying to sell it off as like that. I did want to go ahead and tell you guys what it does do. It does train crews faster. than the Type 59. Because you can fire on the move better, you can use coated optics, which is going to get you more assistant damage, more target spot damage, better concealment. You're going to be able to escape situations that you probably couldn't escape with a Type 59. Little bit better pin, better gun handling goes a long way. I would say that the only downfall to this vehicle, if you were to compare these two, would be that you get preferential matchmaking with this tank, which, like I said, it's so OP, as is right here, and I'm not kidding you. When it first came out, yeah, I'm not going to get into when it first came out, when the Type 59 first came out, but I am going to go ahead and just tell you guys that this is how I would want the Type 59 to be, but it does come at the price of playing at tier 10. So you basically get an unbalanced, version of the Type 59. Is what I think. I mean, it really does fit the name King Dragon. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you guys think about it. And of course, comment, like, and subscribe. And have a good one. Later.